Do you know the one question that you need to ask every lender on every transaction? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, it's Rosemary Lewis, your educator agent with eXp Realty. And today, y'all, I am sharing with you pretty much the magic question that you need to make sure you are asking any lender, especially if you are representing a buyer or a seller in a transaction. But before we get into it, I need y'all to do me a favor and go ahead and subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell. Why, you say? Because I am committed to bringing really great information from my fellow realtor friends every week, and I want to make sure you know about it as soon as I drop a video. So make sure to notify yourself, keep those notifications on, tell a friend about me so that they can get in on this knowledge so that we can take over the real estate community together. Now let's get into our topic of today. So y'all, one of the mantras in my business, or one of the rules I guess that I live by, is that it is so much better to be proactive instead of reactive. And what I mean by that is that a lot of times, if we can get ahead of problems before they even present themselves, not only will our clients see that we're advocating, that we're professional, that we're thinking about all the parts of the business, but quite honestly, it will save you a lot of headache in the long run. And I have found that when I ask this magic question to lenders for my clients who are either purchasing and obtaining financing, looking to get a pre-approval, or even when I'm representing a seller and our buyer is financing, this one question helps me to stay ahead of the game. It helps me to communicate effectively and look for problems that sometimes people don't always tell you about. And here is the question. Anytime I'm speaking with the lender, if I'm calling them to find out about a pre-approved buyer that's offering on one of my listings, if it's one of my buyers and perhaps this is a lender that I haven't worked with, or even if I have worked with them, or if this is one of my buyers, the question that I ask the lender is, what is your level of confidence that we will make it to the closing table? Now, I know for some of you, this is a crazy question to ask because it would automatically be perceived, right? If I have a pre-approval, or if we're under contract, or if they're offering, some of you may think that the lender is going to be confident that the deal can close. But I will tell you, when you ask that question, first of all, not that I'm trying to trip them up or surprise them, but the way a lender responds tells me so much about if they have properly vetted the client, and if there are any red flags, any concerns that they have. So for instance, if I have a listing and I receive different pre-approvals, I will reach out to the lenders of the client, any offer that my sellers seriously want to entertain. And I say, hey, what is your level of confidence? Now, if the lender's like, well, they say they have money in the bank, the credit looks pretty good, blah, 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 blah. Like if they're not enthusiastic, then that is telling me that there may be some red flags, or sometimes the lenders flat out tell you, everything looks good except we got one issue to clear up. And not to say that we wouldn't consider that offer, but now I can go back to my seller with more information that I've gleaned from the situation. And then here's reverse. If I talk to the lender, they're like, oh my God, this is stellar. This is great credit. This is that, based on their enthusiasm. Now, I know things can happen, things can fall apart, but their response to that question will help me understand if they have true confidence in their buyer and if they have confidence in what's going on. And this is definitely a question that you need to ask when you are in a transaction, and let's just say there are delays or certain things happening. Too often I see realtors that just trust that everything is going to go okay and that you are going to be communicated with if there is a foreseeable problem. But here's the reality. Everyone just doesn't operate like that, right? So if there is an appraisal that needs to be ordered, or if the file is in underwriting, it is our responsibility as real estate agents, whether you are representing the buyer or the seller, to be in constant communication with the lender so that if there are any challenges that they foresee in the file, you find out before the deal blows up in your face. I will give you a really great example. I had a contract, one of my listings a couple of weeks ago, And it was just really peculiar to me because by the time we went under contract, I'm following up with the lender about an appraisal that hadn't been scheduled. And then I started to grow concern. So, and we know how it is in this market, you know, the market is saturated. So things are going slower. There are more houses to be appraised and appraisals are available. Contractors, a lot of things are happening that are impacting us. But I also know that sometimes we might use an excuse to say we can't, get an appraiser out when the lender is really trying to work out a bigger issue. So what I did is I picked up the phone. I had a conversation with the lender about, first of all, our dissatisfaction with the fact that we were going to be delayed. But then I hit them with that question. Okay, what I hear you saying to me is that our only delay is this appraisal, but once it gets in, we're going to be fine. What is your level of confidence that we're going to get to the closing table? And based on that lender's response, he wasn't stuttering. He was supremely confident. He gave me more information about how qualified the buyer was. And that gave me confidence so that now, when I speak to my seller and I have to request an extension, I can also package it with the information that I got from the lender. Now, if that lender sounded shaky, if they started stuttering, if they couldn't give direct answers, not to say that it would be grounds to cancel the contract. I'm not an attorney, so I'm not telling you to do that with your deals, but it would give me insight, which would allow me to be proactive and have conversations with my seller before the deal blew up in front of us. So remember, the question that you ask when you get a pre-approval, when you have someone offering on your listing, when it's your own buyer, ask the lender, what is your level of confidence that we will have a successful closing? And I promise you, you will glean so much information from what they say and even from what they don't say about that file. So I hope that this was helpful. Make sure that you add it in your follow-up conversations and you all go out and be rock star real estate agents. If you have made it to the end of this video and you are not subscribed to my channel, what are you doing with your life? Go ahead and subscribe. And while you're at it, look in the description box. I have a freebie for you, which is 10 habits to be an insanely successful real estate agent. Make sure that you pick that up, rosemarylewis.com/freebie, or it is in the description box. Talk to you soon and have a good day.